It's good to be artistic and create something with the rocks you collect. I've never been one to like piles. I always try to encourage people, do something with your rocks to use them in some interesting way. I'll take you out to the garage and I'll show you the cabinet that I made, because inadvertently I ended up with all these halves, the end cuts of all of these rocks. And I call this a cabinet, but it's probably more of a table or a storage box. And these are the halves I was telling you about. Most of these were left over from the wall hanging, but then I didn't have enough, so I had to intentionally cut, of course, other ones. There's always an excuse to play with more rocks. Here you can see a beautiful, beautiful fossil ammonite. I believe that's what those are called. I'm probably not correct there. But that's in that sandstone conglomerate that we're going to look at later. Then this top is also made of rocks from the Yellowstone, and the way I cut these, again, I basically just made a big concrete block with all my favorite little rocks in it as the gravel. And these I cut on a tile saw, if I remember right. And the rocks popped right out of the cement being cut that thin, because I cut these down to like 1/8 of an inch maybe a little thicker. And then glued them to tiles, filled in the space between with epoxy, and polished them down. Here are the other two sides in the sun, so that you can get a look at some more fascinating geology. Lots of beautiful porphyries. Here's a really nice migmatite. Of course, these come from the deepest levels where rock almost becomes molten again. Here's a beautiful porphyry with perfectly formed and quite large crystals. Those form in another environment. And this, I want to show this now because we're going to talk about this particular sandstone later. It's a sandstone that's exclusively made of little black pebbles. And here you can see the sedimentary layering very well.